My name is Maria. I'm 41 years old, and I've lived most of my life believing I knew everything about my family. That illusion shattered the day I opened the old wooden chest in my late mother's bedroom. She had passed away just 3 weeks before, and I had finally gathered enough courage to start sorting her belongings. The chest was tucked beneath her bed, dusty and locked. I found the key in her vanity drawer, wrapped in a faded red ribbon. When I opened it, the smell of lavender and old paper rose into the room. Inside were photographs, letters, and a silver hand mirror I'd never seen before. But it was the letters that caught my attention. Dozens of them, all addressed to my mother, all from the same man. His name was Alan. I had never heard of him. Each letter was signed, "Forever yours." The earliest letter was dated 1981, a full year before I was born. I read the first letter slowly, unsure if I had the right to, but curiosity pulled harder than guilt. He wrote of long walks, stolen kisses, dreams of a shared future. His words were passionate, intimate, filled with a love I never knew my mother had. The woman in these letters was alive, fiery, playful, a woman I had never met. I sat there, on her carpeted floor, reading letter after letter. Alan spoke of concerts they attended, books they exchanged, nights spent under the stars, and then, in a letter dated October 1982, he wrote, "You said you're late. Could it be true? Could we be parents?" I stopped breathing. Late, pregnant, 1982. That was the year I was born, October 1983. The next letter was different. Alan sounded anxious. He wrote, "You say you made your choice, that you're marrying him, but Maria is ours. You know it." My heart pounded so hard I could hear it echo in my ears. Maria is ours. Could it be? Had my mother hidden the truth all my life? Was my father not really my father? The letters after that became more desperate. Alan begged to see me, to be part of my life, but my mother, the same woman who raised me with tenderness and grace, had refused. She had built a wall between us. I spent the night reading every single letter. By morning, I felt hollow. Everything I thought I knew was a lie. I looked at my reflection in a silver mirror from the chest. The one with initials AR engraved on the handle? Alan Rogers. My real father? I confronted my aunt, my mother's older sister. She looked at me for a long time and then nodded. "Yes," she said. "Your mother loved Alan, but her parents didn't approve. He wasn't proper. A musician with no steady job. She was forced to marry Thomas instead." Thomas, the man I had always called Dad. "But why didn't she tell me?" I asked. "She was afraid," my aunt said. "She thought protecting you meant pretending." I didn't know what to feel. Rage? Grief? Betrayal? For days, I couldn't sleep. I kept rereading the letters. Alan had even written one on my 10th birthday. "I saw you at the park today," he wrote. "You were laughing. I wanted to come say hello, but I didn't want to frighten you." He had watched me from afar. He never stopped loving me. Even though he had never met me, I made a decision. I had to find him. There were return addresses on the envelopes, some old, but one from just 6 years ago, a street in Oregon. I typed his name into an online search. There he was, Alan Rogers, 62, retired music teacher. I wrote a letter, just one page. I didn't know what to say. "Dear Alan," I began. "I found your letters. I think you might be my real father." I included my phone number. For a week, nothing came. Then, one quiet Sunday morning, my phone rang. "Hello." His voice trembled. "Is this Maria?" "Yes," I said, and then I cried. We talked for hours. He told me about his life, his regrets, his music. He never married. He said he could never love another woman the way he loved my mother. "I tried," he said, "but no one else was her." He had a house full of instruments. He played the cello, the piano, the violin. He said he kept a photograph of me, one he secretly took when I was 5. your mother was pushing you on a swing. He whispered, you had pigtails and red shoes. I traveled to Oregon a month later. When I saw him, I knew his eyes were mine, his laugh. It was familiar in a way that shook me. By the fireplace that night, he showed me songs he'd written for me. Little Girl in Red Shoes was one of them. I cried again. He never blamed my mother, he said. She did what she thought was right, but I always hoped you'd find me. I stayed for a week. Every night we talked, played music, shared stories. It felt like we had known each other forever. When I came back home, I visited my mother's grave. I sat by the stone and whispered, I know now. I'm not angry, just sad that we never talked about it. I left the silver mirror on her grave. Alan and I talk every week. He visits often. He met my children, his grandchildren. He cried when Mia called him Grandpa. Some days I wonder what life would have been like if my mother had chosen differently. But then I remember, she gave me life. She did her best. She carried pain so I wouldn't have to. Now, I carry the truth, and I choose not to carry bitterness. This story isn't about betrayal. It's about love, hidden, silenced, but never erased. If you've ever wondered about your past, I hope this story gives you strength. Sometimes the truth is buried, but love finds a way. Thank you for reading. Please like, share, and subscribe. There are more stories to come, real, raw, and full of heart, because your truth matters, your story matters, and you are never alone.